Hello friends, especially those in the class of 2020. Today, real quick, I'm going to prove to you that you are exactly where you need to be. Watch this. You see, the other day I was going for a walk. I was walking my dog, and on the sidewalk I came across somebody that I'd recognized from high school, and I couldn't quite put a name to the face. And as I was walking my dog, she was walking hers, she was coming at me, I was coming at her, and our dogs started nipping at each other, and I look at the face and I'm like, God, I feel like I know this person. And so we pull our dogs away and we start walking home, and it goes through my mind, like, who could this person be? And so I get home as soon as I can, and I pull out my senior year yearbook. And I'm trying to find the name that belonged to the face that I had recognized. And as I was looking through the pages of my senior year yearbook, I came across a note from a girl named Tessa. And that note had said, "Hi Mark. I don't know if you remember this actually, but our first memory together actually goes back to sophomore year of high school. We were at the swing dance, and we shared a dance together. You were really shy at the time, and you made it really obvious that you weren't enjoying it. LOL. But honestly, it's been really cool to watch you grow these last few years. It's been really amazing to see you come out of your shell. And so for that, thank you for giving me such a great senior year, and thank you for all the amazing things you've done at Jackson High School. I wish you a great year after high school and a great life, and I can't wait to see all the amazing things you accomplish. From Tessa." And that note kind of threw me off. And it threw me off for a few reasons. Number one is because that girl Tessa was actually our senior year homecoming queen. Number two, she was voted like the most friendliest girl that you could ever talk to in our grade. And number three, she was the student voted like most favorite senior. In fact, she would go on to address the 2016 commencement ceremony for my graduating class. And I knew that, you know, if me and her had shared a dance, I for sure would have definitely remembered something like that, especially someone as awesome as Tessa. And so I'm thinking back to sophomore year of high school. What is going on sophomore year? Swing dance. And I remember at the time, at the swing dance, I had a crush on this girl. And I remember one of my friends telling me that my crush at the time was going to be going to this dance. And so I remember I got ready, and I'm putting my clothes on, and I'm getting nice and dressed up, and I go to the dance, and I'm like, I'm going to dance with my crush at the swing dance. And then we're going to get married and live happily ever after. Just kidding. But no, and then so I made it my mission to dance with that girl. And I remember that day I had 3 people that I had danced with primarily. Number 1 was the person who brought me. Number 2 was the person I had a crush with. Number 3 was some girl that I didn't remember. You see, what had happened at the swing dance was they divided the lunchroom where we hosted the dance at, boys and girls. And our job, our sort of like guideline for the first dance was to dance with somebody you didn't know. Get out of your comfort zone. And so they explained us the rules, they explained us everything we need to do, they taught us how to swing dance, and then we found our partners. And I remember I got partnered with someone that I had no idea who she was. And I remember this girl was, you know, she was laughing and she was smiling and she seemed to be having a good time, but I was so mission driven on dancing with my crush at the time that I had no recollection of who that girl was. And that's when I realized that girl was Tessa. 2 completely different experiences of the same event. 2 completely different people with 2 completely different intentions in one event. We had different memories of that event. For her, it was something that kind of represented our relationship. And for me, it was something I had no thought of. And I didn't ever even look back on it until I had read that note. You see, here's why I believe that you are where you need to be. In fact, I believe we all are where we need to be. The very essence and the very nature of middle school, high school, and college is that it's a breeding ground for us to make mistakes, for us to miss opportunities, for you to make mistakes, and for you to miss opportunities. It's an opportunity for us. While the stakes are pretty high, they feel high, the risk is actually pretty low, very low. And obviously, as we go through the years, the stakes get high, but the risk also gets higher. But the thing is because of this opportunity to make the mistake and miss those opportunities while the risk is low, it's like the next time you come across it, you know very well not to make that mistake. I know very well not to make that mistake or miss that opportunity. And the thing is I look back on that dance with Tessa, and I wonder, what was it that, made me not want to dance with her, even though there was nothing wrong with it at the time. And I often think back to this quote that I often hear that it's pretty profound, but I think it's a little bit misguided. And the quote goes like this. It goes, "You need to make the most of every moment in life." And I gotta be honest with you, I don't completely agree with that. And maybe in a way you don't too. You see, you can't make the most of a moment any more than you already are. In fact, I think you're already making the most of every moment. Like, you can't take a moment and force it, because then it's not authentic. I think the point is that you're supposed to just live life, not forcing things, rather just letting things be, and knowing that it'll be okay. You see, right now we live in a time in a world where the people in charge just aren't doing as great as they can be. Don't get me wrong, the people in charge are doing a good job. They're doing a good job, but they're not doing a great job. And I would go as far as to argue, even the people on the front lines, nurses, doctors, and teachers, and all the people who are fighting this fight and really trying to make the most of a situation are doing the best. And I mean the absolute best they can, given the circumstances. And in fact, if there was anybody I'd give the most amount of credit for, it would be those people. It's the people in charge, the people who, kind of run this place. They don't quite get it. That don't completely understand the weight of these missed opportunities. Because right now, we're missing so many events, so many seniors and, 8th graders and college seniors are missing, formals and commencement ceremonies, graduations, proms and dances and final seasons of, track and soccer and baseball, softball. And it's pretty heartbreaking. I know. And you see, the thing is that I think in a weird way we were supposed to miss those things this year. Because the truth is that you and I pretty soon are going to be in charge of running this place. You and I are going to be the ones in charge of making sure things get done, making sure people are safe, serving people, and providing opportunities. That's going to be your job. And you see, there are two ways we can go about it. Number one, the way I did it with Tessa. Being so mission driven, being so focused on the thing that you're trying to accomplish that you forget about all the wonderful things that happen along the way. being so focused on what it is that you want that you forget the opportunities that are right in front of you. Or number two, you can go about it the way Tessa did. And live that truth that you are where you need to be at every moment in time. And Tessa knew that from our first step, at the swing dance sophomore year of high school years ago. She knew that where she needed to be was there at that dance with me as her first partner. And she did what she could to be authentic, to be herself. I know I made it probably really weird. I feel pretty guilty, actually. But the thing that Tessa understood very well, I believe, and the reason it made her homecoming queen and most kind and friendliest and voted senior favorite of the class of 2016, were that if you're going to live life and know and be so utterly confident in where you are right now, you can't come from a place of ego and selfishness and hate or just things like regret, the way I did. But rather, it's time to come from a place of hope and gratitude, courage and joy, love and kindness. And I often like to think that, in a way, Tessa does that a lot. And it's cool to see where Tessa's gone. In fact, I think she's a cheerleader for the University of Washington, and she gets to travel and just, do what she loves, do what makes her happy, and she owns it. And it's absolutely inspiring to see. But you see, the thing is that right now, in the world that we live in, we don't even get a chance. You don't even get a chance to have a dance with, quote, Tessa. But you see, the thing is I think we're supposed to miss these opportunities. That while we wish, senior year could finish out the way we had planned it to, it wasn't ever supposed to. And as sad of a truth as that is, you see, I believe that if you and I are where we need to be, then in the future, next time, you'll be able to come not from a place of ego-driven mission success, not a place of selfish, desire to get one thing done, but rather you can come from a place of authenticity, of hope and courage, love and kindness, joy and gratitude. Because if we are where we need to be, then this is the way our lives are supposed to be going right now. So please, keep in mind, for the next few months, even the rest of the year, even the rest of your life, that right now in this moment, you may not be able to make the most of it, but just know and trust that you are where you need to be. And if you had to ask me, Mark, well, what about that girl that you saw when you were walking? Was that Tessa? And I like to think of that story and wonder, maybe the reason she was there. Maybe the reason that she was walking her dogs. But so that I would pull out my senior year yearbook and open that page to Tessa's note and read the weird, awkward, kind of funny opportunity I missed to dance with her. Only to end up here, talking to you. Either way you look at it, I think I found who I was looking for. And I promise you're going to find who you're looking for. And you're going to find what you're looking for. It doesn't happen right away. It takes time. It takes mistakes and it takes missed opportunity. Because if I didn't miss that dance with Tessa all those years ago, then I wouldn't be here talking with you. But trust me, you are where you need to be. Peace out, my friends.